Ah man, it feels normal. You know what I'm saying? Like last
Define normal,
episode, we were talking about how life was lifing,
of course.
and I kicked it off with a curse.
your your week your weekly task of making my job harder. Pause.
I made mine even worse because
See,
of internet connection, but
you brought this on yourself.
it looks like things have been fixed. We did our normal catch up, and looks like things have been remedied. And pardon my rudeness for getting from behind the mic. Pause.
How rude.
There we go. Yeah, yeah. Things are a little bit awkward today on my side for a great reason. Today is Saturday, October the 14th. Year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
I said year of our Lord.
Year of our Lord.
20 and 20. Tree.
Wiggle wee convenient. Bring me your dinner bucket.
Let the
You
check
realize
say.
we didn't. Hey man, you
Realize we didn't what?
We didn't start off. We didn't tell them what they tuned into, even though they know. But you know,
Yeah, you see the background. You see the guys. You see gang green.
right. I notice a lot more people wearing gang green on TV now. Like, okay, once or twice, maybe a coincidence. It's a lot more. And I'm not gonna claim anything that I haven't had, confirmed to me. But all I'm gonna say is
It's cool to be a pencil pusher.
we appreciate the look, we appreciate the listen. However, you decide to show your support for the gang, where the gang goes, the gang goes.
We appreciate being appreciated.
Give them the socials and the email so they might want to send us something.
Yeah, because you're the one for this one. Show at brokenpencilbc.com, brokenpencilbc@gmail.com, at brokenpencilbc on all things socials. That's at brokenpencilbc on what?
Everything.
Suave, you and I made a bet a couple of episodes back, and we discussed this bet last week on episode 217.
Facts. I've cashed in on one half of the bet. I got to finish the other.
We'll talk about one half of actually, we'll talk about both halves of your bet here shortly.
Okay.
I promised something. I promised that because of, this is no slight at you, the goalpost being pushed back as it relates to the terms of the bet.
Why is that the new thing? Like, moving the goalpost is the thing for this year, bro. Like, why are we ending the year like this?
Everybody wants a participation trophy, and it's cool.
We don't give those.
Yeah, we don't give. It's cool that you want that. We don't have that.
Your participation ribbon is your receipt from when your paid entry.
In my hand, Suave. And I'm gonna turn off the background just for this. I don't do this often. I don't think I've ever done this on this show, but I'm going to turn off the background for this.
Blur your background so they don't see the magic egg.
Okay. So in this bag, I have some goodness for you.
Uh-oh. It's not going to show.
It will. I'm going to unblur it because people need to see this.
All
right. I just, for those of you listening to the podcast, I just unveiled a box that's approximately 15 inches tall, by about 3 to 4 inches wide.
Pause.
Stop it. That said box. Whoa.
See?
A pause.
See?
Child.
See? Don't call me a child. I'm trying to help you out.
All right. And then a piece of silver here.
I can make the most hilarious joke, but we get blackballed worse than we are.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. So a piece of silver here that comes out of the bag. As I turn it around, Suave, I want you to tell the people what you see.
There is some artwork that I painstakingly took place in for Michael Parsons. So it is a comic book style depiction of Michael Parsons as Doomsday. The villain, the super villain that killed Superman.
And then
very, very, very well done.
small bag here. It's emptied out. Also in my hand, Suave, tell the people what you are seeing.
The same artwork depicted in high gloss format on coasters.
What you don't see or didn't see, anti-slide cork board.
Anti-slide.
Of these ceramic coasters.
So the first one, for those listening, was a I guess you would refer to it as maybe a rolling tray, or potentially.
I mean, if you, hey, you know, a really
what do they list it as? Because I know that's not a.
It's just like a tray. I mean, and it just says a tray. But here's the crazy thing, because I know us, it could be like, for me, a prep tray for like my cigar rounds for the day.
Yep.
It could also be for you, the wing disposal tray.
I never thought of it that way. Very good.
It's a tray.
Yeah, very
now,
good.
In emptying out this box,
that's hilarious.
Explain what you see now.
There's a drink tumbler with the same aforementioned artwork wrapped completely around the drinking device.
It is insulated with a sealed rubber top that goes with, and sliding mechanism that is anti-spill, rubber insulated as well.
It's a very player game day setup.
Suave, this is what happens when I lose bets, and I didn't lose this bet, but just to make things G, I paid up. This is my gift to you, sir. Courtesy of Primetime Tumblers, Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Carrboro, North Carolina, sir.
Well, thank you kindly. I'll be sure to roll up on that tray, and I'll be sure to put some type of beverage on top of the coaster, and I will pull up with some of the finest.
Yeah, shouts out to my man Vaughn, aka Primetime, no Dion, and let me see here. That was a bar when I'm in my zone. Let me see if I can find the.
Speaking of which, let me check the scores from the game.
Primetime Tumblers and more on all things social. So at Primetime Tumblers and more, and that's traditional spelling. So there's that.
Them boys blew that game in overtime. No,
not overtime, double overtime. We're talking about the Colorado Buffaloes. Last night when I tuned in, I was out moving around, and the score was 29-0 at the half, and then they came back 29-19. By the time I was really like into the game, Colorado had scored, and then the secondary fell apart.
Bruh.
For Colorado. Warren Sapp can't get there fast enough.
I mean, Warren there is the portal. It's flat out, it's the portal on both sides of the ball in the trenches. Once they able to get like some top level dogs and hogs, it'll be a different story. Like, they'll be able to build a great wall on both sides. And the portal's gonna be open, because like, where else you gonna get this much press? You realize at this point, and this is for anybody who's listening who has a kid who's thinking of entering the portal, or if you are a kid who's thinking about entering the portal, the amount of press that you would get for being a part of the transfer entry class that changes Colorado in Dion's second year would be the same as being a Heisman Trophy candidate.
Let us not forget the fact that at this point, at this juncture, he's already secured 400% higher win total than they did last year. And would have been
500% had they closed out last night.
And we're only midway through the season.
So at this point,
they could lose every game the rest of the season, and this season will be an overwhelming success.
Exactly. And we've seen the financials about how much money's being brought in, how much better a position that the University of Colorado's in. They will basically
the state of Colorado itself.
They basically went into debt to bring Dion in, and at this point of the season,
ROI is heavy. The ROI is heavy.
Oh, at six games in, they've paid for him completely, and now they're on the plus side. Like, that shows you the power of what Coach Prime is doing and what the overall vision is. Not even gonna get into it with the people who feel some type of way because yeah, all right, cool, do something about it.
I still don't understand the trepidations that or the transgressions that or in this case microaggressions that Jackson State alumni have towards Deion Sanders.
Because you felt like you owed something.
But why? Like he made Jackson State and SWAC football better.
Because you heard one side of the agreement and didn't hear the other side. So you hear Coach Prime say, "I'm gonna be here," not understanding that the statement "I'm gonna be here" is contingent upon certain things like honoring the contract, possibly paying the staff, you know, doing business face up about the attendance, because the attendance is part of what pays. There were some things that about the attendance that were supposed to come back financially and fiscally to Coach Prime. Now, obviously, we know the man played NFL football for Google how many years, has done television for a vast majority of his time since then. It's not about necessarily the money for his pocket, but you see what he does for other people. So if his staff is not getting properly compensated, that money could have gone to them. You got
Let's
to do business face up.
let's talk one more glaring fact. A lot of people who have no idea the pedigree of Deion Sanders from a collegiate standpoint are uh, doubting his loyalties to Jackson State and HBCUs because of him leaving and going to a PWI, a high profile Division 1A PWI, to go secure a healthy lifestyle for his family and also a higher level of education for his two sons, Shador and Shiloh. Let me ask you a question.
All right, shoot.
How many years was Deion at Jackson State?
Two.
How many years did he attend Jackson State?
Damn. Damn. Damn one.
Uh, and he was drafted to the NFL from what college?
Florida State.
So what does he owe to a black college?
What he gave, effort.
He already gave back for something that he didn't buy into. And then he bought in by giving back. Leave that man alone. He hasn't talked down to anything or anyone, no matter how good or how bad he has been treated. He has only sung the same praises. He has been consistent. Word to Bill Alfonso, right down the middle, daddy.
Hey, look, I'm not gonna go out my way trying to convince nobody
I'm
about what
done.
is and what ain't.
I'm done. That's it.
It just, hey, look, this is where we are, famo. This what we own. Okay, this is the equivalent of your ain't poop homegirl marrying the essential man of her dreams. And then after about 2 or 3 years of marriage, he files for divorce. You're mad at him, but you don't realize she cheated because no one told you. All you know is that he left. So now he's the bad guy. So that
No Scott Hall.
right. Ayo. Like, and because a lot of those people take that jilted lover approach to this, and I'm like, look, this was a scratch my back, scratch yours type situation. It was okay. Prime didn't want a position coach. He didn't want a coordinator position coach. He wanted a head coaching job. So a historically black college would have given him that opportunity before a PWI. The HBCU gets the benefit of a high profile, big name, ex NFL player, Hall of Famer, coaching their program, bringing them kids, ad revenue, uh, television rights, all type of stuff. It was
And let's not forget NIL.
and NIL in the NIL era. So now you're able to get a Travis Hunter to flip his commitment. Because without that, I mean, you don't have the money to compete.
And Shador and Shiloh, why wouldn't they follow their Hall of Fame father?
That's just common sense, bro. That's just common sense. Like, who gonna prepare you better to go to the NFL than an NFL Hall of Famer? Which is part of the reason that Colorado is going to continue to recruit well, because not only do you have Coach Prime, now you're going to have Warren Sapp, another NFL Hall of Famer, coaching you to try to get to the NFL.
Who is a perpetual child in his own right, but at the same time,
that's beside the point.
You know when to grow up.
Hey,
now he's here.
He's put your hand now. When you put your hand in the dirt, I trust no one more. Now, anything else, that's something that we're all going to have to collectively work on as a family. But when it's time to put your hand in the dirt, 2 technique, 3 technique, I can't see anybody better to take advice from. You want to play on Sundays? Listen to that guy.
That you don't throw around the name killer in a sport, especially in today's day and age. That man's nickname was QB Killer.
Take the ER off and put the A on it.
Killer. My bad. Killer.
Or put a AH.
Or AH. Yeah. Go like no Ghostface or all Ghostface, depending on your perspective.
Look, it's just this is a subject that will probably go on forever with people on opposing sides. I understand why the people that are upset, I understand why they are. I just don't subscribe to that form of logic. I just don't make sense to me.
It's senseless, but at the same time, you know,
indeed,
there are people who never had nothing, will never have anything, and those,
yikes.
Yeah, we're talking to them. Change, do better. If you are indifferent or applaud the cause, cool. Pass this sentiment on. It's okay to smile. Where do we go from here, Swab? Do we talk about a tale of one Tuesday? Do we talk about
that's probably the next gaslighting topic we can get on, because
no. We have some housekeeping to do. We're 2-3 weeks overdue for this. We need to do this now. WWE releases.
Oh yeah, release date, release party.
Yeah, the release party for 2023. We haven't seen.
We're not late. We just waited for all the dust to clear to make sure there was nobody else going.
Well, the irony is the fact that the last one that we saw was like the most high profile one of the list, and it was because it was surrounded in controversy. We expected to see more, but we haven't. So, and I'm thankful because that means that more people still have their jobs. But
for now,
for the moment.
For a nominal fee.
Soon to be.
For a nominal fee.
What will you do?
You will slice off some of this broken pencil knowledge and put it on your plate.
Jingle fold, you know what it is.
You know what I'm saying? We appreciate the kind of jingles. We really prefer the kind that folds, and we always take the kind that zells. Zell me mine.
There it is, right there.
Straight like that.
You need to change your alert to that. you got an auto coming from me every Monday for the foreseeable future. So, you know,
tell me, man.
Yeah, there you go. How you want to do this? You want me to run them all down, or you want to run them down one by one and talk about them real quick?
Let's make this interesting. So we know enough of these people. As you read them, just pick somewhere they can go.
Okay.
Pick a landing spot.
I hate this.
No, and the reason I say this because it's gonna work, because it'll go right into another topic.
It will, absolutely. But I hate this for one person that I just saw, but it's cool.
I bet.
First person.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali.
AEW. And off top. He is perfect.
There's no better place for him than AEW. There's so many reasons.
Please let him do the New America Ali.
New America Ali needs to be there.
Oh my God, just let him do that.
And
If you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and watch it.
do you remember where he's from?
Chicago.
The unofficial home of AEW.
Now, let me say this now. You are not replacing your last Chicago employee with this Chicago employee.
Not even close.
And you're not going to get the same fanfare. I'm saying he fits that in-ring style perfectly. We know he can cut promos in a certain vein. For what I saw from the New America Ali promo video package, if he's that guy, that's money.
And it goes right along with the person who's cutting the checks.
Bing bong. Bing bong. This is one of those, like, that's a silver platter situation. Like, let these 90 days get up and let's hit the ground running. Let's start building some positive equity. And I know the talent roster is oversized in Jacksonville, but that is an addition that, if handled correctly, can really push you in the right direction.
I would really love to see what would happen if they put a rotating cast of producers backstage of these veterans, because they have so many that are north of 50 or close, like tongue kissing 50 right now, that it doesn't make sense to see them as full-time performers, in my opinion. Granted, they're good, they deserve the shine, but if you're there to make it better, if you're there now to make it a better place for when you leave, prove it. Put your money where your mouth is.
That's a two-way street, though. Yes, you have some of your more seasoned talent who's probably in their final seasons of being in-ring performers, but you have to have a roster, the younger part of the roster, who's willing to receive that advice, to receive that coaching.
Don't take away the fact that I did not say get out of the ring. I'm not saying stop performing.
But even the ones who are ready to get out of the ring, like, okay, a Paul White, a Mark Henry, a Billy Gunn when he's ready to stop performing, a Edge, a Christian, like, are the people in the locker room right now who are not quite there but trying to get there, are they actively seeking out advice? Are they taking advice when it's offered? Because I'll attempt to be fair about this. The previous person who was trying to help talent and give out advice, they had some success stories. There is a crop of people who say, I've learned so much from this guy.
Yeah.
Then there's another group who says, I'm not taking advice from anybody. I don't care who you are. Screw you. And don't talk to me about it. And that's usually what ended up making things escalate to a confrontational standpoint, which is why I said last episode, if Adam Copeland swings on anybody, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear nothing about how Adam Copeland is toxic, because if there is a person you could look up in professional wrestling that you would think is the exact opposite of the guy who just left, it's the guy that just got there.
And mind you, this is 20 years removed from one of the hottest shoot angles in the business, with him, Matt Hardy, and Amy Dumont, aka Lita.
Bing bong.
Growth changes you.
It should.
It absolutely should.
But we'll see.
Rick Boogs.
Ooh, Rick Boogs. I think Japan.
I would love to see him in Impact for a year. Him and Moose, whether they be in a program together, like against each other, or even on the same side, that's money. That's a money look for Impact.
Well, okay. The reason, and I don't disagree with what you're saying. The reason I say Japan is because he spent the last, 2.5 WrestleManias in a very silly gimmick. With the state trooper mustache and and the guitar gimmick.
I love how you put him in was it Reno?
Yeah, Reno with the Reno 911, Lieutenant Dangle mustache.
Just remember there are 3 sides to Reno.
Ah man, he looks like a cross between Junior and Lieutenant Dangle.
There are two of the three sides he could easily fit on in Reno, and the third side is being a gambler.
Bing, bing, bong. So with him spending that last bit of time being kind of silly, I believe like a New Japan situation, a tour out there, or just a semi-extended stay would allow him one to showcase how good of a actual wrestler he is because he does have that pedigree. It'll give him a chance to kind of freshen up his look, not necessarily be a comedy guy, and he's a person that he has the physical stature and the tools and the pedigree. He could turn himself into a upper mid card to a main event player in 12 months.
Aaliyah.
Impact.
I say women of wrestling.
That's quietly something that needs to be talked about too. Because as much as I've tried to refrain from throwing any dirt in any direction, women of wrestling is actually doing better domestic ratings than another Friday show.
Which is insane. And
a Friday and a Saturday show. They're beating both of them.
Think about this. I've said this numerous times before, and you and I have checked out on Impact for it was because of the direction. It just a lot of things just didn't make sense by the time we checked out.
Right.
And they have the talent now, but it's like you're trying to. It seems like they're doing everything they can to remove the stink of the Dixie Carter era, and but while reinventing the Dixie Carter era without Dixie.
I think what I need for the next time that I actually see Impact, I need the aesthetics to change. I need I need it to look different.
The Impact Zone wasn't broken. It moved from like 2 or 3 different locations, but it wasn't broken. And whatever they have now is a broken version of the Impact Zone.
So
it doesn't work for me.
So they're shooting in the same location every show, right?
Yes. Well, no. They do have some some traveling involved. They do shows like in the Northeast, like Philadelphia and.
But I mean, are those for pay-per-views or that's for weekly TV?
They do weekly TV off site too, but not every week.
So I just feel like there needs to be a new set design. There has to be something that changes that makes it look different to where people don't mentally equate what they see with the old. There needs to be a revamped presentation, and I think that would do wonders for. I know it would help me.
When's the last time you actually like just casually watched Impact?
I'm trying to think. Okay, I saw.
Give me a year because I know it hasn't been in the last few months. So give me like a year that you like flipped the station, even watched it for 5 minutes. It was like, yeah, I'm out.
I've done that this year.
Okay.
But it just looks the same to me every time I see it. Like
here,
conditioning of the hard cam. Like if we just went for a landscape versus a portrait shoot, anything. Like change the side of the ring you shoot from.
Think about this. Think about how it looked when they were doing weekly pay-per-views. Think about how it looked when they went to Paramount or Spike TV.
Mm-hmm.
Even think about the Destination America era.
And that one I'm a little less ingrained in. But yes.
that was the Jeff Jarrett Global Force era, really. The owl.
That damn owl.
But yep, that owl. Comparing those times to where we're at now looks like ECW when ECW first started.
I want people to stop doing that too. I want people to stop trying to equate everything going on now to ECW then. ECW is an outlier when it comes to a lot of things. And I know there's a difference between Eastern Championship Wrestling and Extreme Championship Wrestling. So Hear that when I say that.
So this is that, and that's what I meant when I said ECW, not extreme, Eastern.
Eastern.
Like
Right.
when you're looking at the product now versus looking at the product 15 years ago. God, it doesn't seem like they've even been around that long.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the product 15 years ago, it looked more aesthetically pleasing 15 years ago without HD than it does right now with HD. That's a problem for me.
Being at Universal Studios afforded them some luxury as far as shooting. So I won't go as far as to say it has to go back to that era, because that requires some extra bread to be broke.
And if this is the same building that they were shooting in during the pandemic, then get a different building, because putting people in areas that was empty doesn't do it's not doing them any favors for people viewing at home. Like, you know, if you enjoy Impact, this is not a knock. I'm glad you have something that you enjoy. Not everything is for everybody.
Right.
All I'm saying is, to get me back, and there are other people who think like me too, brighter lights, spread the room.
Yes.
Like you don't have to be butthole to elbow, but you don't have to be miles apart, socially distanced.
Right.
It needs to be people need to be comfortable, and if you do that,
just freshen up the presentation.
That's it.
If you had to go from, like, flat level seats to some forms of risers, just to make it look like there are more people going up, to give you the Roman Colosseum feel, you need something like that helps with.
I mean, I'll make the ramp more like 2 inches narrower on each side, just to give you the appeal that it's longer. Pause.
Hey, go old school Clash of the Champions with the walking ramp that's level with the top of the apron. Like, just do something different.
I don't even like that. I like that as seasoning. You put it where it needs to be, but not on the weekly. Because AEW they were going back and forth with that for a long time.
And the only reason they stopped is because Bryan Danielson almost lost a leg from the knee down. Now, because they would have kept doing it had it not been for that, but there was a snafu. I'm sure someone else could come up with something that would, adjoin that to the ring, to where there's a smooth surface with no gap in between.
Yeah.
But we need something. We need some type of freshening up of the aesthetic.
Elias.
Impact. Wait, does he change gimmick? Or does he take the same gimmick with him?
I prefer the Drifter.
Impact.
I say Impact too, just because I prefer the Drifter. Riddick Moss.
Ooh. MLW.
Outstanding. I was actually going to say MLW as well. Perfect place for him.
Yeah.
And if you're going to like rebuild, get a new fan base behind you, you can come back as a star. That's the one thing MLW has not had. You could have had it with D.H. Smith, David Hart Smith, or Davey Boy Smith Jr. You could have had it with him had you kept him on the roster.
Did you hear about him though?
Well, speaking of, yes.
Right.
Get well soon. You're a great meat, cool guy. And I mean cool, not like we like cool as in mellow, tranquilo.
Yeah. He wasn't geeked up when we met him.
Yeah, man. I don't. The last thing I need you to do, or anybody, is go to the hospital because you're feeling like you have one thing and then lose organs or pieces of organs. Like, man, God bless you.
Man, that's tough, Shawty.
Take all the time you need.
Absolutely.
Yeah, diverticulitis, for those who don't know. Davey Boy Smith Jr. decided to take it upon himself to go get checked out for what he thought was appendicitis, and end up losing pieces of vital organs due to diverticulitis. The same thing that jeopardized Brock Lesnar's career and life. So, yeah, something serious. AJ Francis, a.k.a. Top Dollar.
This one is a little. This one's different because I immediately take AEW off the table because of some things that he tweeted while in WWE.
Oh,
And it's nothing serious. He just went out. He just went as far as to say when the Young Bucks were wearing different hype beast shoe sneakers
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
on Dynamite, he just kind of alluded to the fact that Hit Row was doing it first.
Yeah, he decided to get active. Yeah.
When truthfully, when it comes to wearing heat on television in the modern era of wrestling, Enzo is where it starts.
Oh man, you know what?
Enzo's the one who did sneaker shopping before Shane McMahon.
He was doing like Dapper Dan style too. Like he was getting like exclusive collabs done.
Like he was like Mosh 275 was doing shoes for different people. Now look, when it comes to wearing sneakers in the ring, Shane really is carrying that torch. You would see like Bret Hart would wear Jordans when he's in street clothes. Hogan would wear Jordans in street clothes. I've seen Pillman do Jordans in street clothes, like all the way back to Clash of the Champions in like '91. I think it's
Pillman Senior, for those who don't know.
Senior, because the other one's Alexis King now. It was the Clash of the Champions match versus just Lexus, because I saw a Lexus and then I saw Lexus.
I saw Lexis was the last one I saw.
I saw someone spell it with an A in the front. So
oh God.
So, but matter of fact, it may or may not have been a Jordan, but it was a high level. I think it was, if I'm thinking about it, it's the Toronto Jordan 7 versus Brad Armstrong on a Clash of the Champions. This is right when Pillman went heel. But for people who have ever been able to notice and recognize wrestlers in street clothes and see the type of Jordans, see the type of shoes and sneakers they wear, this goes back a while. Shane's the first person I ever remember wrestling full matches in like retro Jordans. Go back to King of the Ring from 2001, where Kurt Angle almost, debilitized him on pay-per-view.
I was just about to say that's the one right there. King of the Ring 01, him versus Angle. That's when it was like, is he wearing J's?
True blue Jordan 3s. So you've got that, and then Enzo was doing it every week. Like he had heat on every week, and it was
the man literally has a Jumpman tattooed on him. It was part of his apparel.
Bing bong. So from there, in this I guess you would call it stretch of the modern era, the Young Bucks were doing hype beast sneakers on a regular basis, and AJ Francis made a comment, basically kind of claiming their space in it as Hit Row. It went from playful banter to like somebody took offense to it, and then the words escalated, and then AJ Francis is an actual professional athlete, so trash talking with them, they don't care. They don't get offended by it, because it's like, you got to see me at some point.
Right.
It's just part of the game, but like he's not going to back down from it. And because he's a professional athlete from another sport, it's not like he's going to do the whole get along to go along, because like I'm a vested NFL player. I don't have to play ball with you for career purposes. So
you said all that to not say AEW. So
yeah, I had to explain why AEW wasn't going to work. I'm going to say NWA Power.
I like it. We'll talk about Billy Corgan later on today too.
Bing bong.
I like Japan.
I don't think he made to go out there in Japan. I don't think that's for him.
He's a professional athlete who actually wants to get better.
How much better does he want to get? And what is he willing to sacrifice to get better? Because he's also got a rap career that he kind of seeds into as well. So I'm trying to figure out, does that work if you go to Japan?
It could work better.
It possibly could, as far as the rap. I'm talking about for the wrestling.
He has star power, like the whole
how much though? Like you're not gonna have that star power is not gonna go to Japan with you. Whatever star power you have.
No. Not saying that he has like self-built star power that he takes with him as credit. No, what I'm saying is he has it. Like he has charisma. Like the A&E thing doesn't happen without him being charismatic. The ability for him to get away with some of the stuff that he's done on the rap side while in WWE doesn't happen without having it or without being charismatic.
His A&E work as far as on Hidden Treasures.
Yes,
that's part of the reason I feel like he may not be done with Stanford. That may just be a wait 90 days and come back under a different situation.
This will be the third time that's happened, and I don't know how much.
His calling may not be an in-ring talent in Stanford. It may be an on-air talent,
which surprised the hell out of me that he even ended up in NXT. Same thing with Dio Madden. Like,
see, Dio Madden chose to go back to wrestling. Yep. He had already made it out, and I think if he had stayed at the table, he'd still be getting money right now. He wanted to go back because he wanted to wrestle. That didn't really work out the way he thought it would.
All right, so we brought up Dio Madden. He was one of the ones also released. Marseille.
Yeah. I don't know. If he wants to keep wrestling, I don't know, bro. Like, because I haven't really seen enough in ring of him to be like, okay, I know where he would fit. Pause.
Child,
just go somewhere you can get some ring time, bro.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer. Like,
I would like to see him be a journeyman. MLW, NWA, both of those come to mind. I can't see him going into AEW and being a viable commodity. I don't see him lasting in New Japan. I don't see him from an Impact.
It's about going where you can get some ring time and develop an in-ring persona. So hopefully you have that already mapped out in your mind. Like, in your perfect world, what do you look like as a professional wrestler? Figure that out. Figure out the look that goes with it. Start working on the presentation. Wherever you can go practice that, that's where you go.
All right. Now I mentioned Dio Madden, aka Mace or Marseille, Mansoor.
Same. Like, because of New America Ali, and then we send him to AEW, there's kind of an idea that could take place, and that would work if they had some sort of a partnership. To be perfectly honest, we have enough former members of Retribution to go and try it again. I mean,
not a lie told.
Retribution was for a second like Dark Order Light. So if Timu Dark Order wants to reunite in AEW, we can get this popping.
No, you didn't.
I'm just saying there are options, but same thing with Mansoor. Like,
I'm gonna tell you where I would like to see him, and it's not in a wrestling ring. I would like to see him re-sign with WWE. Backstage correspondent, he has that all over his face, especially for all the international travel. He fits it perfectly to me.
I do see now. I can say that if some of these guys are, especially some of the ones who are have less on-screen equity as in-ring performers, if they're willing to transition to like a Byron Saxton. Byron Saxton trained to be a wrestler at one point.
Yep.
But has found a lane that I don't think he's going to get kicked out of anytime soon unless he gets caught doing something he ain't supposed to be doing, as, you know, on-air correspondence. All you're doing is traveling.
And he's liked by everybody except Corey Graves.
and that's kayfabe high DHJ. Like, I don't. That's working smarter, not harder. But I understand when you're in your youth, you want to apply your craft to what you want to apply your craft at. But if you're playing the long game, pause. That's the move. Find a way to
talk to some of these veterans, man. Like, hell, I think the most traveled body wise new age competitor within WWE that can attest to how rigorous it can be when you have a certain type of style because of your build is Kofi Kingston. And if you really want to dig deeper and get a overall from someone who didn't work nearly as hard because of his style, he worked smarter and still felt the perils of this, Randy Orton.
Right. Because his finisher is he's taking Impact on his back every night.
He's doing as much damage to his back on the finisher as most people do taking bumps throughout matches.
He's taking a choke slam every night for the last 20 years.
At least one, because there's times where he'll do 4 or 5.
But luckily the finish is protected, so you only have to hit the RKO once.
There's that.
And that's why you protect the finish, kids.
Shelton Benjamin.
This is a travesty. This is a travesty. I shouldn't have to say this. I shouldn't have to say anything about Shelton Benjamin being unemployed. The obvious answer is AEW from reports that I've read that say there are a lot of people internally that want Shelton there. Do I think Shelton's going to be used better or used in a positive form in AEW? I don't have any evidence to say yes. I don't really have any evidence to say no. I have the evidence to say that he'll be used inconsistently, which is not what I want from him because he could have got that in Stanford.
Can you believe that he spent the last 6 years in Stanford?
Yes and no. The Hurt Business is the only thing that says, yeah, he's been there 6 years. But other than that, I mean, they've done what they've always done with Shelton. You put him out there when you need to kind of help somebody walk through the motions, but you never really invest any time into him on a...
He was a legendary enhancement talent is all he was. We completely missed the opportunity for a Brock Lesnar angle. His real life children's godchildren's father.
Not gonna lie to you, if Brock could make a call, make a judgment call, or make a I want this or else type call, I would hope he would use that lifeline on a Shelton Benjamin WrestleMania angle.
Man,
I would hope so.
Can you imagine if Brock came in and did something like destroy the Elimination Chamber because it had no bearing on the finality of the WrestleMania card, and then explained himself on Monday Night Raw and said, I want Shelton, the fact that he's gone after being back and did what he did for WWE for so long. Like, give me what I want or you'll never see either one of us again.
That feels like if Brock Lesnar hijacked a show on behalf of Shelton Benjamin, like, it would come off so out of pocket that I would think it was real.
Exactly.
Because
like no one would expect it. No one is thinking this out loud, at least. Like, Shelton has a fan base. He multiple time tag team champion with Charlie Haas. He was managed by Kurt Angle. Come on, man. Kurt Angle as an amateur wrestler? That's the man that's outside your matches.
You know what actually would work for Shelton if the AEW was the move? If you could get Kurt Angle in a manager's role. So he's not wrestling, but if like Angle was Shelton's coach for Shelton on a main event run.
Yep. I would like that. But here's what I would like even more. If Ring of Honor wasn't such the bastardized stepchild of what used to be that has become now, Shelton and Ring of Honor now is more gold than Shelton Ring of Honor was then with Charlie Haas. I
feel like if Shelton went to Jacksonville on his own by himself, no extra manager, nothing, he would end up in Ring of Honor. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. And then if he ends up in Ring of Honor, you will figure it's only waiting between buses before Charlie Haas is there too.
Yeah, I don't
for think... if only for one match for the nostalgia.
Well,
because look who we're dealing with.
I'll say the check cutter has something in common, but allegedly, I'll leave it at that. Emma, Tennille Dashwood.
AEW. They need women. They need women that can work.
Not only does AEW need women, I'm sick of AEW becoming the graveyard of WWE women. That said, I think, and I've said this before, Impact could be known for its women's division specifically by who they have as their champion now.
Facts.
They could build, and Tennille actually has history there in Impact. Go ahead.
I keep forgetting women of wrestling when these ladies are brought up. So there is an alternative that doesn't have to be either of any of the aforementioned places we've said.
It's not even an alternative; it's an option.
Yeah, it's a straight option. So I think if I'm women of wrestling, Tennille Dashwood is a fantastic addition because of name value and just another woman who can perform in the ring. So I don't see why that's not a. I gotta do about including them.
With her coming out wearing the Respect My Authority ones on her face.
Bruh. Respect my authority.
She has that even if you don't know her name, that's how people will recognize her in a place like Women of Wrestling. I didn't want to do this one this soon. Dolph Ziggler. 19 years. Even re-signed in efforts to stay on with the company to possibly retire because he had the option to go elsewhere earlier and they decided to retain him. Now he's gone.
This is a travesty. This is what loyalty gets you guys.
2-time world heavyweight champion, 1-time NXT champion.
Loyalty in sport when you're not because I don't want to phrase this wrong and have it taken out of context. In other professional sports, NBA, NFL specifically, if you are good enough to be in the league, but not a superstar or a ticket seller or a high value content producer in terms of on-field, on-court play, loyalty to a franchise will get you cut. Man. Loyalty to a franchise will get you traded. Loyalty to a franchise will get you released. This is what has happened to Dolph Ziggler. Because they don't value you as 20 years in the game, always come to work, always do your job well, versus the superstar or the quarterback or just the lightning rod for whether it be controversy or whatever. Those people are usually handled differently. Ziggler's an everyday, or if for those you're a baseball guy, 5-tool player. Yep. Gonna be Cal Ripken, basically. You're gonna show up, you're gonna handle business. Like eventually they're gonna tap you on.
He's gonna give you a classic worthy match. Every match may not be a classic, but it'll be a classic worthy match.
He'll be technically sound.
What was that? Was that Goldberg that he took that spear from and acted a fool? He flopped in the ring.
Yep. Because that was the SummerSlam where like it was the coolest squash match I had ever seen, and the reason it was because you got something as soon as the bell rang that you thought you weren't going to get. Ziggler's super kick Goldberg square in the mouth, and we thought he was going to beat him. And that was brilliant. It was genius because it was like, okay, we all expect Dolph to get washed because they did.
He did, but not like that.
Right. He got washed and it was entertaining because we were already like, man, I don't care about this because, Goldberg finna wash Dolph and we not Goldberg. Well, I'm not a Goldberg fan like that. Like this is this is damn near a bathroom break. And Uncle Ziggy went and got in his bag, and they figured out something that at least made it entertaining. Because
He could have hurt himself more from the way he took spots than actually taking the spots themselves.
but that's what happens when you're dealing with a trained technician. That man knows what he's doing inside those ropes. And
Set a record for the most wins for his school as an amateur. The brother of Nick Nemeth over at AEW.
That's pretty much what you're drawing the lines as to where I'm saying he's gonna go.
I don't want to see him go to AEW specifically for that reason, but at the same time, this is one person where I would say, take it to the house, bro, because it's a Hall of Fame career.
He can do whatever he wants. I want to see him go have fun somewhere.
Yes,
and then
and it doesn't have to be in wrestling.
Right, it doesn't, because he does stand-up comedy and some other stuff. So if he doesn't want to wrestle another match in any other company, that's his business, and I support it. If he does, AEW is probably going to pay you the most that anybody else will be able to drop out right now. That's one.
Dabba-Kato. Dabba-Kato was most known as
MLW.
What was his name with
Commander Aziz.
Commander Aziz, but he was also the poster child for Raw Underground.
Also, guilty pleasure. I want to see Dolph Ziggler in the G1.
So stop, right? Good call. He doesn't have to sign, but he could possibly go to a G1 and win a G1. Just participate. That's a dope call. Yes.
Ziggler in a G1 and the main event of a Wrestle Kingdom. Like, do you know how crazy that would be?
Great call. That matter of fact, there you go. Yeah, great call there. That's a good one. MLW for Dabba-Kato for sure. He fits everything that's right about factions in MLW.
Contra.
That's too easy. It's too easy. Dana Brooke.
Women of Wrestling.
Absolutely. There's no other place for her. You don't want to rebuild it or build up a roster with retreads and other organizations where especially when they have to, change their names. No. Women of Wrestling, she has a TV look about her, and her fiance is a full-blown fighter.
She needs an opportunity to not be an enhancement talent. She needs to be somewhere to where ring time promo, she can present herself as a top star in order to see if there is money making ability.
Quincy Elliott.
I don't know.
I'm saying he's taken to the house, and not for the same reasons as Dolph Ziggler.
If I just gotta pick somewhere, NWA, I guess. See, that's one of those I'm not as familiar with. I know more about him from.
I know about him for the wrong reasons.
No, well, not even that part. Just because I wasn't watching NXT, so it's not like I saw it. It's not like I saw in-ring stuff. I would always, either see.
That's what I'm saying. I never saw him in a match.
Yeah, but the over the top presentation in that particular light, I don't know where that necessarily belongs. If you're gonna keep on that path, where's Sonny Kiss right now?
That part is okay, but you cannot let that spill over into real life and then shoot on the company that you're working for. That's the problem I have.
See, I don't know. I have no idea. So that's one of those situations where
may have been a little bit out of pocket. And it's not that he was out of pocket in his message, it's the delivery.
What was the message?
Yeah, something to the effect, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not above being corrected.
At Broken Pencil BC on everything.
On everything. Booker T said something to the effect of, and I'm paraphrasing, "Don't make your personal business our business." And that's something that's if there's ever a Dr. Huffmanism, that's that. Like, you can be yourself, but don't try to alienate the talent because you think that the talent is alienating you.
That feels like a first day at the PC statement. Like day one, before you pick up the weights, before you start training, don't make your personal business our business. And not because it meant for a lifestyle purpose. That's something you could have said to Matt Riddle. Don't make your personal business our business.
Funny you mentioned him because he's on the list too. But that's that great comparison. It doesn't have to be about what you think it's about. It's a general statement.
Right. It's not to alienate anyone who has an alternative lifestyle or chooses to, be free in their
I'm not
own
going
form.
to a job on the first day and telling people how sad I am that my wife just filed for divorce that morning.
Don't make your personal business our business. Because now we have to spend extra time, extra eyes making sure you don't F up.
We also have to make sure that in today's society that you're okay, that you don't need help.
Because at that point, if we put you out there and we don't think you're okay, it's our fault. It's a liability. So I get it. I understand making that statement to someone. Now, however, Dr. Huffman dropped it. He doesn't sugarcoat anything. He just doesn't. That's not what he does.
No, I'm gonna say what I want to say, how I want to say it.
And it's your job to interpret it. Like he is the epitome of I'm responsible for what I say, not what you understand. Tone, inflection, any of that. I am responsible for what I say.
If there was ever an explanation of how he got the nickname from you, Doctor, that's it right there.
Dr. Huffman.
All right, Shanky.
I've never seen so many 7-foot free agents. First of all, I've never seen so many 7-foot free agents,
especially coming out of the E.
I don't get it. I've never seen so many. Again, this is where you can get some ring time and where you can improve. I don't know. I can't send everyone to Japan. That can't be the thing.
Oh, this is a layup for this one.
I feel like this is another MLW.
Not just MLW, but MLW with Dabakato.
I mean, if you're gonna gang the landed, gonna name the stable Land of Giants.
Listen, that they make money for a year and then they make money for a year on the opposite sides of the ring. They have money written all over them as a unit.
Tell you what, I'll go a step further. Wherever Mansoor goes, Shanky can go, or wherever Ali goes, Shanky can go, and that's the heater.
I mean, they could be interchangeable heaters.
Chief of security for New America Ali.
I see here. Yulisa Leon.
Not familiar.
Neither am I, but by the look of her, I'm going to probably say Women of Wrestling.
You're probably right, but at the same time, because neither one of us are familiar, that just feels like such a stereotypical choice. But just know we did it because we're good at this stuff, not because we have any preconceived prejudice.
Let's see here. Kevin Ventura Cortez, not familiar with, and also Ikemen Hero, not familiar with, both from NXT.
Hope to become familiar with you guys. Wish you the best of luck wherever you happen to land. Just know that leaving Stanford is never the end. Sometimes it's the beginning.
Brooklyn Barlow and Bryson Montana, also both from NXT. Not familiar with either one of them.
The Brooklyn Brawler?
If you move some letters around, it spells Brawlow.
Okay, well, if you say so.
And then Bryson Montana looks like he could be in a faction with what's my man, Carmelo Hayes.
Okay.
And then finally, the last but not least, Matt Riddle.
AEW, hands down, no question.
Matt Riddle goes to AEW,
hands down,
and we can get him with RVD finally full time.
Yes, this is why I'm hot, Mims.
What up? What up, Akeem Shabazz? That's my guy.
He got people that he can kick it with for the recreational stuff he likes to do. He has a role model there who shows him where life can end up if he just keeps his nose clean, literally and figuratively.
Man.
But then, hanging out with the boss, I don't know how clean he can keep his nose. But
Oh, sorry.
I'm certain he's gonna have a good time.
Hold on a second. Okay, I can do the rest of the show now.
You've got to chill.
My bad.
You have got to chill. Whatever it is you're thinking of doing right now, do the opposite.
All right. So we finally got that out the way. That's long overdue.
Jake Hager versus Matt Riddle. I want to see it. Just to see. It could either be a train wreck or it could be greatness.
Billy Corgan has decided to re-emerge the territory era, and he also claims that he has two top 20. He has two TV spots secured with the top 20 network.
So, did you see the post that was going around that listed what the top 20 networks were domestically?
I did. I'm actually trying to reference it right now.
Good, because I was looking for the same thing. We're on the same page. Billy. Where you at, Billy?
Billy, baby. What you doing? What you doing, Billy, baby?
Billy C, baby.
Billy C, Billy do, baby.
Mystico from CMLL is going to be competing on AEW Rampage.
Mm-hmm.
And CMLL has released a statement hoping that is the start of a new era between the two companies.
And that's as I think today.
So put that with the working relationship that was announced between MLW, CMLL, and wasn't it NWA?
Yep, it was.
Look, what we've been saying, the whole reason we started referring to Tony Khan as Kanos is these infinity stones of these many major promotions, the independents.
We may not like his movements, but we like his movement. Pause.
So if Billy Corgan is starting to sew up some things on the other end, and Mexico is going to Mexico no matter what.
Man, no matter what. Like, we know Conan going to be around there somewhere. Conan and Vampiro.
And then Court Bauer is, still entrenched in the lawsuit, but also he making his moves and stitching things together. It could get real. Let me
run down these networks.
Run it.
Fox News is the number one channel. ESPN, MSNBC, HGTV, TNT, Hallmark, TBS, TLC, Inspiration, CNN, History, Discovery Channel, Food Network, USA, TV Land, Investigation Discovery, Lifetime, A&E, Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, and Paramount.
Paramount. Don't even waste any time. Paramount is the only one I heard on that list that makes even remotely any sense.
Do you see? This is going to sound like a stupid question, but I have to ask it for the sake of the show. Do you see Billy Corgan being able to produce two different shows on the same network?
Okay, moment of transparency. I don't know enough about Billy Corgan's production style. I would 100% assume that he's not taking the Kanos approach to this, saying, I'm going to be the one that writes my TV. I'm going to be the only one that produces my TV. And he would outsource those things to people who know what they're doing.
Allow me to take you back on a trip to nostalgia.
Going on a trip on a big old rocket ship.
Primetime wrestling, All-American wrestling. Two shows, same company, same network. Completely different shows. If you secure two TV deals, it doesn't necessarily have to be for all new content. But anything that you get out of these two TV deals, or even two TV shows for that matter, would be for new content. You see what I'm saying? You could do a recap or even do like an around the globe, because NWA in essence.
Perfect. What you just said, around the globe. So there's where the CMLL and the MLW comes in, around the globe.
And people like, and I hate to bring his name up like this, but it's gang, Walker Stewart have more places to work.
Oh no, that's that. Of course, that 100% is the benefit to all of this. That people that we know personally are going to have even more opportunities to get on television and get a bigger bag.
It's only a matter of time before we see people like, oh, I don't know, El Jefe Antonio Nieve, aka
Yeah,
Tony Snow, uh,
oh, I
Luke
the
Gotti.
can't wait for the first royalty check that comes in after he puts Dominate on TV.
Oh man,
That sync check, Zell me mine.
this show gets a whole new look in a week. We might take a week off to give it a new show in a week.
I sprinkle diamonds on everything I eat, baby,
Oh man.
because it's the most baller thing that you can do to your food.
Where else are we at here? So, do we even want to talk about the two Tuesdays?
Sure, why not? It's a hot topic. Everybody seems to have an opinion about what happened and how it happened.
So you lost the bet, and you're talking about you cash in on half of the bet,
Mhm.
which is that you go back to watching NXT, which thankfully you held up your end of the bargain. You're a man of your word. You stand on business. You did
Yep,
that.
that's how we do things around here.
I found myself watching as much as I didn't watch.
What does that mean?
There were matches that I didn't care for on both networks at the same time.
Facts. Facts.
The overrun that AEW had was amazing. We got a pay-per-view match for free out of Luchasaurus and Adam Copeland. I won't even front on that.
Agreed. Agreed.
Um,
And like I said a couple episodes ago, Edge and Luchasaurus, same person. when people thought that Edge was under the mask that was beating up Jay White, I was like, no, Edge is the same size as Luchasaurus. And you saw it on television for your own. It looked like Edge was fighting the Halloween version of himself.
The fact that the Big Brother pictures of Luchasaurus circulated at the same time as this match. Golly.
Who Jason Momoa?
Man, I also hate the fact that they did Tony Storm the way they did. She had the second part of her silent movie on picture in picture in the small box.
I'm gonna tell you why I was upset at first. I didn't know it was a silent movie. I thought she was cutting a promo, and they just happened to be showing side by side because they've been dealing with audio and different issues. I just thought it was just a bad timing thing. Now that I know the gimmick is the silent movie, it should be in every picture in picture during a commercial.
You think they should be able to produce enough of that content to have it in picture in pictures of every commercial is sponsored by Tony Storm?
You want to make a star, don't you?
She's on her way, bro. She's on her way.
She found it.
Dog,
Like,
and it was happening.
found it.
It was a happy. I think it was a happy accident, man. She's so dope in this role, man. To me, best gimmick in AEW. Number 2 is Father of the Year.
The father figure, Christian Cage. And I'm coining that name. Father figure. Zell me mine. The father figure, Christian Cage.
NXT. Cody announces the return of the Dusty, and also he was the GM for a night. So for those of you keeping score at home, this week alone at WWE television, or last week if you're listening to this on Monday, you had Cody Rhodes, Nick Aldis, and Adam Scrap Iron Pierce.
Scrap.
All in authority roles on WWE television.
Yep. Former NWA champions.
All 3 former NWA World Heavyweight champions.
Was Jeff Jarrett on television this week?
Was he on TV this week?
It would have been Rampage if he was on TV. I don't think he was on Dynamite. I'm just trying to count how many former NWA World Heavyweight champions were on TV this week, because then Christian Cage is too.
Was he?
Yep.
When?
In Impact.
I thought he was the first Impact World Champion, and not, or unless that was Kurt Angle.
He was carrying 10 pounds of gold during his run.
Let's see.
Yeah, do your Googles.
Yeah, I am. Let's see here. Ooh, I think you may be right, sir.
Oh, I know I'm right.
Oh, Mr. Trey, Mr. WA, Mr. AK. Don't do that.
Bing bong.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're in your bag. I see you.
I mean, I get down. Pause.
Mr. One More Match. Yeah. Yeah. He's in his bag. That's all I got on the Tuesday. I just really thought it was a whole like that for them to go head to head first 30 minutes. I thought was dope, but at the same time to literally whip it out and spray it on the ground every time you heard something. Not the move. Not the move, TK.
Pause. So
I'm not pausing that. That's what he did.
So did you see the final numbers on the ratings?
No, I did not.
Google that. That's it. That's important.
Oh, snap.
No, but it's important for a certain reason.
Are you talking about the head-to-head numbers?
Yes, pause.
Let's see here.
This is what happens when you catch me early in the day.
Oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. So the reason why NXT got off of Wednesdays was because AEW was tearing them a new one. It wasn't, I won't say that. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that egregious.
I don't remember any week being this far apart as far apart as this one was, but AEW Dynamite was far and away winning the battle.
NXT went up 7.5% and drew 921,000 people.
Mm-hmm. On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday. Dynamite, which never airs on Tuesday, did so because of baseball playoffs.
Right.
609,000, down 24% from the previous Wednesday. And these numbers are in the key demo. You know, 0.26 for AEW, 0.30 for NXT in the key demo. And if for those of you not knowing who the key demo is, 18 to 49 male.
We discussed on 217. We discussed why that's important. Males 18 to 49 are the ones triggering spending, whether it's on their own behalf or at the behest of a mate, or at the behest of a seed from that mate. Just that's who, when you want to sell something, that's who you aim it at. When you want to sell a car, that's who you aim it at. When you want to sell a house, that's who you aim it at. When you want to sell lawn care service, when you want to sell anything throughout the day, whether it be on television, whether it be via the internet, that's who you want to aim it at, because at the end of the day, it's either going to be like, I make the decision, or honey, can I have? I make the decision, honey, can I have, or I'm funding what the wife has chosen. And that's where the curveball comes in. You're marketing towards the 18 to 49 male, but you have to make it appealing to the 18 to 49 female.
Buy versus sell. It's really all it is. Man, that's a rundown.
It's a huge number. I'll be perfectly honest. I liked Dynamite better because of the wrestling. I saw Swerve go off. The main event,
Swerve and Danielson was amazing.
Yes.
With the fact that we know that we're at the tail end of Danielson's career as a full-timer, the last thing we need to do is have stories within stories. Hangnail had no business in that match, even if it was to perpetuate or further a story between
Swerve out here carrying everybody's water. I once upon a time, and we've talked about this on the show before, I was very pro Hangman Adam Page being the guy. And then I had to retract that after I saw it all go wrong. And I was like, okay, my fault, my bad. I was wrong. Now I'm right about being wrong.
Cole, Page, Copeland, the tale of three Adams.
Which one of these is not like the other?
Oh boy.
So I am going to celebrate the fact that I am right about having been wrong. So there's that. Um, I like the way Dynamite looks aesthetically. Like I was talking about with Impact, like you want to see the aesthetics change to make it more of an appealing wrestling show. I just like the way Dynamite looks on television versus the new NXT.
It looked like a big show.
It had that feel. It felt like the people in attendance knew it was important, however many of them there were. But that's the thing. When you go wide angle and pan out and show the whole arena, it's like, oh. And that's the unfortunate part for some of the in-ring content we get. Like there are some matches that absolutely should have a full house, or in my opinion, AEW might want to look into going for smaller venues, sort of like a Hammerstein ballroom effect. A more intimate setting to where that ravenous fan base that they have that will come out is closer together. And when they're closer together, they seem bigger and they seem louder.
So here's what's crazy. I don't know how many people were at SmackDown this week, but I do know they call it the Box Center, the BOK Center, Bank of Oklahoma Center. That's what Box stands for, by the way.
I thought you said the Box Center. Wait a minute.
They hold over 12,000.
Okay.
And that building, as loud as they were for Dominic, and the fact that Triple H had to claim that he thought that they were piping the sound in at first, that should tell you how many people were in that building. Because I heard more boos than I heard of Dominic's music, and Triple H couldn't even hear Dominic because of the boos. So I'd probably say they were north of 10,000. Meanwhile, Dynamite was in Stockton, California, which was the home of the area that Will Hobbs is from.
Mm-hmm.
And they sold 3,800 tickets. That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Stockton, was it? Because they were in California, right?
That I'm not for certain on.
By the way, St. Louis for the next SmackDown, 10,000 sold. Unless that was previous week. I'm tripping. That was previous. Because SmackDown we thought Randy Orton was going to actually show up in St. Louis. So that was the previous week. Either way, yeah, we didn't see a full crowd shot from Dynamite. So I would probably say, because I thought they were in Indianapolis, and two, I saw something earlier that day. They said they were only staging for 4,000. Y'all do a better job of getting security these venues, because you're putting people out of work.
Just how long are you gonna be able to operate where they're not giving you cheaper rent just because you're staging for fewer people?
Right. That number's already there. That number's already done.
That number's locked. So why not go for something more intimate? Or hear me out. Don't go unless you can get the crowd. Like, let's scale back some of the touring brand aspect, because then you'll save on travel, you'll save on building fees. Let's find a destination, like how Daly's Place was a destination. Like, we might have to kind of revisit that and like make Daly's Place the central area to where everyone is essentially coming into Jacksonville to go there.
Yeah, Curtis Colwell, same thing. Like, was it from 90 to 95, WCW only ran non-pay-per-view shows at Center Stage? Unless it was Starrcade, which I'm getting pay-per-view, so there's that.
Not my money, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm just saying, if you see that this is a glaring issue, that repeatedly it's to the point now that it's becoming a joke, that the opposite hard anything shown on the hard camera side is like a ghost town. And then when you see the level of equipment that is in these blacked out spots, It's like there's no way you need this much room to shoot this.
No, not at all. Not at all. And like I said, we know what can be done to Curtis Colwell because we've seen Dynamite shot there. We've seen
we were there for Supercard of Honor.
Supercard of Honor was shot there. We also saw we've seen what do you call it? The Battle of the Belts. You've done that there. Like
right. It and those types of venues, I feel like if you can make a trend of hitting those venues in those cities where you can garner that type of interest, I think it goes a long way into those other markets that you go to and they don't necessarily come out in mass. If you starve somebody long enough, they'll eat whatever you bring them. And that sounds really cruel and it sounds like terrible business, air quotes, but that's how this goes, bro.
Let's end it like this. I just got a package. Pause. The name on that, Manifest, aka Manifest Greatness, MC out of Tulsa. Speaking of Tulsa, that's where SmackDown was this weekend. As I pull out the envelope, I'm gonna take this off one more time, Swab, because man, this is what I think it is.
Pause.
Let's see here. Take out the background. Where we at? Bam. Peanut butter jam. Where'd it go? Now all of a sudden they don't even want to let me take out the background. There we go. Choose background. There we go. All right. Bam. If this is what I think it is, bro, this is gonna be a good day in the neighborhood. You see that? See that number?
50.
The number of years that hip hop has been in existence. This is a T-shirt.
Uh-oh. Hip Hop 918. Aha. 50th anniversary. Tulsa Dope.
On the back of the shirt, 79th and Hip Hop is the brand. Pays homage to
Tulsa. Let me move my mouse cursor out of the way. Tulsa top 50 DJs and producers.
Somewhere on here.
And I just saw it. Second column right next to DJ Shabazz.
He's a legend too. In fact, you don't know this, but he's in Dallas.
A word?
Yeah, he's been there for years. There I am, right there.
Boom, right yonder.
You know what I'm saying? Some very high level people on here.
You doing the manual Star Wars credits?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But see, right there on the left side though,
Darth Vader.
And then right underneath him,
Rockefeller.
Two of the illest. Darth Vader's my ace, and Rockefeller's one of the illest to ever touch a pair of decks. Period.
That's what's up. Hit the bell for yourself. Run some applause.
I'm in great company. I don't care what you argue with your mama. My peers, not my friends, my peers chose me for this honor. I will wear this with great honor.
And see, you wonder why I say the legendary every time I put your name on some stuff. Come on.
Hey, man, to quote the great Kendrick Lamar, be humble, sit down.
Man, we ain't got no time for that. Royce the 5'9" said being humble ain't gonna get you out your grave.
Smoke your humility. I'm wearing my shirt with confidence and arrogance.
Smoke your humility. Oh man.
Confidence and arrogance. Arrogance by Rick Martel. A fragrance. Available only at Dillard's. Show at brokenpistolbc.com, brokenpistolbc@gmail.com. Tell me why that looked like roach spray.
My God.
That's at Broken Pistol BC on what?
Everything.
Swab, take him to the house.
Kanos, stay off of Twitter. Take a week and don't tweet. Give your phone to somebody else. Let them tweet the updates about the show.
You got the bread. Get you a social media manager.
No. He does. Look. No, never mind. Pencil pushers. Like, rate, subscribe, share, tell a friend to tell a friend, and then after that, tell that friend again.
And tell your mom and them.
and your mom and them. Sell me mine, and don't forget. Heads up, pencils down.
Down where?
In the comment section.
That's where Logic goes to die.
Unfortunately.
Oh shit! I forgot what I was doing here.
Whole world we live in, buddy.
Over.